Hi YouTube, thanks for looking in. This is my daily look at the astrology, a birth chart if you like for the day. As we go into Saturday the 3rd of February 2018, we've had quite an eventful time of it. Just in the few weeks since the year began, we've seen all kinds of supermoon things going on. There's been eclipses. There is actually a progression of eclipses underway that mostly happened last year, but it's not over yet. It's all still happening. There's a lot more action than usual basically going on with the moon this year. Today the moon is going to enter Libra, well tonight actually, UK time. All my times are UK, that is UTC or GMT, and the moon is going to enter Libra tonight, UK time 21:44, about 9:45, but she is at the moment void in Virgo, so it's a void of course all day. She turned void at, let me see, 7:06, is that? 7:06 this morning, yeah, and she'll be void of course all day. During a void of course time, it's good not to do anything that attracts any new action. It's good to consolidate the things you've already been doing. It's good to maybe even think about plans going forward, but don't be making hard and fast decisions about totally new things today, is my advice. It's up to you whether you want to take it or not. But essentially we're coming towards the Libra moon. And at the moment, the moon is 89.6% full, waning gibbous, coming down off full now. The energy getting less intense, and all the onus now is on us to go forward. We can ask for the obstacles to be taken away, but the energy is really behind us, taking our own projects forward. Not entirely without help, but learning to stand on our own 2 feet with the projects and the action that's been going on since this moon cycle began. Third quarter on the 7th of February 2018, when she's halfway down, and then we'll go on to a new moon as we go further on into the month. That third quarter, 7th of February 2018 at 15:53. The alignment right now, well, moon void in Virgo, as I said. This basically means healing the body, they say, is not terribly effective under this transit, for one thing. It doesn't mean that people can't heal, and it doesn't mean that people are going to get stuck in any way, but it's a bit like that consolidation thing, you know. Perhaps in the healing cycle today is a time of rest and recharging batteries rather than going out and doing something. If you've already planned out If you've already planned to go out and do something in that sense, don't let me or the stars or anything put you off. You know, your plans are the most important thing. It's not at all selfish to put yourself first. I don't think enough people understand that. I must have a drink of tea. Earl Grey, best tea in the world. Orange oil. Mwah. Yeah, I mean, it's not selfish to look after yourself, basically, because how are you going to look after the other people in your life? How are you going to keep on top of your projects if you've absolutely ignored yourself? You can't pour from an empty vessel, so don't be afraid to put yourself first. Take a rest if you need to. It's Saturday, maybe you don't have to go to work today. Now, plans and schedules when we're void in Libra really need to be taken with a pinch of salt, left open to last-minute changes, rearrangements, that kind of thing. Mercury is sextiling Mars, and that is also something where you can get quick reactions. You can kind of get people being too upset by things that suddenly go wrong. So really focus today on going with the flow. You will almost certainly get everything done that you want to if you just calm about it and go with the flow. In the biodynamic cycle, well, we're in between. Under a Virgo moon, it was a root day in the biodynamic cycle. We're coming into a flower day. This is a particular way of planting by the moon. I also find it's very interesting spiritually. For example, the root, we just had 3 root days with the moon in Virgo, and it's been quite important to ground yourself at that time as well. Just kind of feel rooted in what you're doing. It actually plays into this consolidation phase that we're having today as well. Under a Libra moon with the flowers, of course, it's time to work on flowers in the gardens or on the farms, but it's also a time to think of the 1,000-petal lotus flower that opens and closes. Libra isn't the only sign that this happens in, but that's where we are today. Okay, another astrological thing that's going on. Say another thing as if it's like minor. Yesterday was the day when pagans in UK were celebrating Imbolc. I didn't actually give it out in the astrology because today, February the 3rd, is astrological Imbolc, and this happens when the sun hits 15 degrees of Aquarius. It's a very ancient festival. usually celebrated around the beginning of February. It doesn't have to be celebrated bang on astrological Imbolc today, but it's about the first flowers showing through, the first signs of Mother Nature coming back to life. Could be a strange time at the moment because Ceres, a very small dwarf planet in the asteroid belt, who is the essentially the planet of Mother Nature and growing crops, preparation for rebirth, that side of the feminine energy, what you might call the goddess energy, is actually retrograde until the 19th of March. So that's an interesting one. She isn't massively in your face, Ceres. She's about as influential as Pluto. Is quite some distance away, and as I say, is all part of the asteroid belt. So, you can take that whichever way you want to see it. But I'm absolutely sure for that reason and for other reasons in astrology, we are going to be seeing the signs of rebirth. And we may have some difficult weather patterns. That's what I should think. I think we're going to have some difficult weather patterns. Now, also today, right, today the sun, and then tomorrow, start again. Let's have another drink of tea. It's Saturday morning. I've got to drink my tea. Come on. Right, that's more like it. Today, Saturday, February the 3rd, the Sun will conjunct the South Node. Now, the South Node is kind of where you've been in the past. It's an important thing. It contains a lot of important influences towards standing on the shoulders of what you've done in your life before. Also, possibly karma gets involved in this as well. But the North Node is when you're looking forward, and it's about where you're going and where your dreams are taking you. The South Node is about maybe subtle warnings from the past. Don't be put off by anything, but do be aware, have I done this before? Did it make sense then? How's that going to work? It really is important to think about that. And then on February the 9th, Mercury conjuncts the South Node, but that is going to be a different ball game with different background astrology, different patterns happening and all sorts. Let's have a quick look at spaceweather.com. This is where science meets astrology. Basically, it's astronomy. This is all 100% scientific data here that I'm reading from a website, spaceweather.com. They have wonderful pictures on there. It's well worth a visit, spaceweather.com. And it says, what's up in space? It tells you all about it. What's up in space today? Sunspot number 2698, AR 2698, is small, poses no threat for strong solar flares. They've said that before, sometimes it can change, but the solar wind speed is very low today at 318 kilometers a second. The proton density is rising at 8.9 protons a cubic centimeter, and this is not least because solar wind is spilling from a hole in the north of the sun's atmosphere. It's what we call a polar crown coronal hole. It's been going on for a little while, but it takes time for the solar wind to reach us. It's likely to reach us tomorrow, February the 4th, and brush against Earth's magnetic field. That is then possibly going to cause minor geomagnetic storms, not even as strong as G1 class from what I can see here, and G1 class is generally the weakest one. The coronal holes are quite small, really. If you live in a part of the world where you can see auroras and lights in the sky, it is a fabulous time to be looking at that. If you believe in these things, I would suggest you could kind of scry into those patterns a bit as well. That's my kind of spiritual take on it, but I'm determined that this is for everyone now. Whether you believe in God or the universe or nothing at all, this is meant to be for you. Right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for looking in. I'm sorry it's a bit late. It's been raining very slightly here, hardly at all. You'd think a storm would cause a problem, but it's not. When it's like this, the electric boxes outside, because it's in deep countryside all surrounded by trees in the rain, the connection boxes fill up with mist, and apparently this is why the internet becomes a bit useless when we have this weather, which is just no problem. It's not even cold and it's February, blimey. So really it's a better day than it feels like. Thanks again for looking. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you really boost my subscriptions up, it would help. I've got to try and keep this thing on track so I can get better cameras, better backdrops, actually get pictures of the planets involved, that kind of thing. To do that, I need to get a little bit of the revenue that comes in from YouTube. It's about £1 for 1,000 views, and they're not going to keep letting me do that after the 20th of February unless I'm sort of making progress. progress. They're starting to become quite demanding. I'm glad they are, actually, because it's raising the standard, it's raising the bar. I can do it, you can do it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment and we'll share the journey. Thanks again. Have a beautiful Saturday the 3rd of February, my friends. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.